Fluent Flow podcast. New videos every day. Let's learn English together.
Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to take a really close look at learning English. Specifically for beginners, we want to understand what works best. And we'll focus on something super important: vocabulary. The basic words you need. Our goal here is to give you a kind of shortcut to understand the essential building blocks of English, and maybe just as important, the way these words are taught effectively.
That's right. And for this, we're looking at a specific source. It's called Fluent Flow, Essential English Vocabulary for Beginners. We focused on one part, episode 18. The title is helpful: Best Words for You to Learn English.
Yeah.
And this source tells us exactly what it wants to do. Its mission is, and I'm quoting here, to teach essential vocabulary for beginners with slow pronunciation, short sentences, and much repetition to facilitate understanding and memorization.
That mission statement, it really sets everything up perfectly for us, doesn't it? It tells us we need to look at two things. First, the what, the words themselves, which words did they choose? And second, the how, the teaching method. Slow pronunciation, short sentences, lots of repeating. So we're going to unpack why these specific words are chosen and how they present them to help you learn best. And this should help you, the listener, understand what makes a good starting point, whether you're learning English yourself or maybe just interested in how language teaching works.
Exactly. Think of it like looking inside a toolbox. A language learner's toolbox. We're not just looking at the finished house, the fluent speaker. We're looking at the tools used to build it. Why this hammer? Why these nails? We'll see the careful choices that help people learn the basics quickly, understand things properly, and feel like they're making progress, one word at a time.
Okay, let's dive in then. Let's unpack this fluent flow approach. They start very cleverly, I think, with basic action words. Now, maybe that sounds obvious, actions, verbs, but it's a really smart place to begin. They focus on things, quote, we do every day. These aren't just abstract words on a list. They are the verbs, the doing words that describe our lives.
Precisely. From a teaching perspective, starting with action words makes so much sense. Why? Because actions are usually things you can see or things you can do with your body. Think about eat or drink or walk. You can demonstrate these easily. It's much more concrete than, say, an abstract idea like freedom or justice. Not for beginners. This connects directly to a teaching idea called, sometimes it's called total physical response, or TPR. Basically, you hear the word, you do the action, it helps the meaning stick. And mastering these basic verbs, it lets you communicate simple needs right away. I eat, I go. That gives learners a real sense of achievement very early on, which is so important.
Okay, I get the logic, actions first. But just learning verbs, like eat, go, sleep, doesn't that feel a bit incomplete? How do you actually use them right away? How does Fluent Flow make them immediately useful?
That's where their method comes in. It's quite smart. They don't just give you the verb, they pair it with a very short, very simple sentence. So for eat, the example is, I eat breakfast. See? It's not just eat, it's I eat. That's a basic sentence structure, subject, verb. And breakfast gives it context. Plus, everyone eats breakfast or lunch or dinner. These actions are universal, shared human experiences. It links directly to your daily routine, something you can immediately talk about.
That makes a lot of sense. You need action words to talk about your day.
Absolutely. So let's go through some of these specific words, the examples they use. And it's important to remember what the source says. They tell the listener, repeat after me, very slowly. Say the words out loud. That active part, saying the words, is really key, isn't it? It truly is. Listening is important, of course. But producing the sound yourselves, speaking it, that reinforces the learning much more strongly. So the first word they list is eat, E-A-T, eat. And the example sentence, I eat breakfast. Simple action. We do it every day, morning, noon, night. Very high frequency word.
Okay, eat. I eat breakfast. Got it. What's next?
Next is drink, D-R-I-N-K. Drink. The example, I drink water. Again, like eat, drink is about a basic human need, a very common daily action. Water, juice, milk. We drink often. So it's immediately useful.
Right. Eat, drink, fundamental. Then
we have go, G-O, go. The example is I go to school. This one introduces movement, direction, destination. You go to school, you go to work, you go home, you go to the store. Very important for describing your day. Where you move.
And the opposite, in a way.
Exactly. Come, C-O-M-E, come. The example given is please come here. This is so useful for invitations, for giving simple directions, for interaction. You ask someone, come with me, or come to my party. It helps you connect with people.
Okay, go and come. Movement and interaction. Makes sense. What else?
Next is sleep, S-L-E-P. Sleep, the example. I sleep at night. Essential for talking about your routine. about how you feel, a basic state of being. When you're tired, you want to sleep.
Yes, very important to be able to say that. Okay, sleep then.
Then work. W-O-R-K. Work. The example, I work every day. This connects to your job, your studies, your daily tasks or efforts. Very common topic. What do? I work or I study, which is I kind of work too.
True. Work. Okay.
Keep going.
Walk. W-A-L-K. Walk. The example. Let's walk together.
Yeah.
This suggests simple movement, often shared activity, maybe leisure. A basic way to describe getting around on foot.
Walk. Next one. This next one seems very relevant for us.
Yes. Talk. T-L-K. Talk. The example. We talk about English. This is directly related to language learning itself. The goal is offered to talk, and it's fundamental for socializing. We talk to friends, family, everyone.
Talk. Essential. Two more in this first group. Two more basic actions. First, read. R-E-A-D. Read. Example. I read a book. This connects to learning, hobbies, getting information. Many people read for pleasure or for study.
Read. Okay. And the last one.
Write. W-R-I-T-E. Write. The example. I write in my notebook. This emphasizes the practical side. Writing notes, maybe homework, messages, a key skill, especially for learners.
Eat, drink, go, come, sleep, work, walk, talk, read, write. Okay, that's a solid set of basic action verbs.
It is. And notice how Fluent Flow presents them. We mentioned it before, but it's worth repeating. They explicitly say, repeat after me, very slowly. Say the words out loud. Crit. This isn't just a suggestion. It's a core instruction. It pushes the learner from passive listening to active participation, active speaking. And that clarity, that slow pace, it helps you hear each sound, helps you try to make the sound correctly yourself.
Right. It's not just hearing, it's doing, making the sounds. And those short sentences, I eat breakfast, I drink water, they give instant context, don't they?
Yeah.
You see how the word is used in a basic, natural way, right away.
Exactly. It helps you learn the word and a simple grammar pattern at the same time, like learning small building blocks, little phrases you can use immediately. I eat, I go, I read.
It seems much more effective than just memorizing a list of verbs with no context.
Oh, absolutely. Context is king, especially for beginners. And simple, repeatable sentence structures are like training wheels for grammar. They provide support.
They really minimize the confusion. You focus on one new word, put it in a simple frame you already understand. That feels achievable.
Precisely. It reduces the mental load, makes it less overwhelming.
Okay, so that covers the action words. The verbs. Now this is where, as you said, it gets really interesting. They built the foundation with actions. What comes next? They move to useful everyday nouns. The things, the objects, the stuff around us. These are the words for, as the source says, things you see every day.
Exactly. It's the logical next step. You have the actions, now you need the things involved in those actions, or the things in the environment where actions happen. Nouns give names to the world around you, especially these concrete nouns, words for things you can touch and see. Table, chair, book. These are vital for starting to describe your surroundings, for answering simple questions like, what is this? They help you build slightly more complex sentences, connect the who and do with the what's.
Right. If you want to talk about reading, you need the word book. If you want to talk about eating, maybe you need table. So let's break down these everyday nouns from the source. What's first?
First is table. T-A-B-L-E, table. In the example sentence, this is a table. Very direct, points it out. Identifies a common piece of furniture, central to many rooms.
Table.
Oh.
Okay. And often found near a table.
Is a chair. C-H-A-I-R, chair. The example, this is a chair. Connects directly to sitting, to comfort. Tables and chairs often go together, so learning them together makes sense. Logical pairing.
Table, chair, basic furniture. What next? Something very modern.
Yes, phone. P-H-O-N-E, phone. Example. I use my phone. Super relevant today, isn't it? Everyone has a phone, uses a phone for communication, information, everything. High frequency, very useful noun.
Absolutely. Phone. Okay. And something we mentioned with verbs.
Book. B-O. Okay. Book. Example. I have a book. This links back nicely to the verb read, shows how the vocabulary connects. Used for learning, for fun.
Book. Got it. How about things we carry?
Bag. B-A-G, bag. Example, this is my bag. Very practical word. School bag, handbag, shopping bag, used for carrying things.
Bag. Okay, and parts of a room or building.
Two important ones here. First, door. D-O-O-R, door. Example, open the door. Essential for talking about moving between spaces. Entry, exit, a universal concept.
Door, and the other one?
Window. W-I-N-D-O-W, window. Example, look out the window. Important for seeing it outside, for light, for air, another common feature of any room or building.
Door, window. Okay. Nearly there with the nouns. Two more. Tools for writing.
Exactly. Linking back again. Pen. P-N. Pen. Example, I write with a pen. Directly connects to the verb write, the tool you use for writing.
Pen. And what do you write in?
Often a notebook. Notebo. Notebook. Example, I study with my notebook. Connects to learning, studying, taking notes, often used together with pen.
Table, chair, phone, book, bag, door, window, pen, notebook. Another really solid list of common, tangible things.
Very solid. And notice the pattern in the example sentences again. This is a table.
Yeah.
Or I use my phone.
Yeah.
Or I have a book. These are just random examples. They are simple, repeatable sentence patterns, templates.
Like grammatical frames you can use again and again.
Exactly. Scaffolding structures. You learn the noun and you immediately learn a simple way to use it in a sentence.
Like you learn pen and you can instantly say, this is a pen, or I have a pen, or I use my pen.
Right. It makes the learning very practical. It shows you how to use the word immediately.
And using concrete examples like table or chair, it removes any doubt about what the word means. You can point to it. It's clear. Reduces that mental effort again.
Yes, minimizes ambiguity. Very important for beginners building confidence. You know you understand it. You know you can use it correctly in at least one simple way.
Okay, so we have action words, the verbs, and we have object words, the nouns. What does this mean for actually talking about our day, putting things in order? The next section in Fluent Flow tackles this. It moves into time and daily routine words. This feels like a step up, doesn't it? Moving from concrete things to the more abstract concept of time.
It is a step up, conceptually.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely essential. Think about it. How do you talk about when things happen without words for time? These words are like the signposts in our daily narrative. They structure everything. We use them to make plans. Let's meet tomorrow to tell stories. This morning, And they are crucial for basic social interactions. Greetings especially. Good morning, good afternoon.
That's so true. They're woven into everything. You can't really have a conversation about your day without them. So let's look at the time words Fluent Flow includes. Where do they start?
They start with the main parts of the day, often used in greetings. First, morning. M-O-R-N-I-N-G. Morning. And the classic example, good morning, marks the start of the day. A standard, friendly greeting.
Morning, okay.
Then, logically.
Afternoon. A-F-T-E-R-N-O-O-N. Afternoon. Example, good afternoon. Covers the middle part of the day, after morning, before evening. Another standard greeting.
Afternoon, and then?
Evening. E-V-E-N-I-N-G. Evening. Example, good evening. The time after the main work or school day, before night. Use as a greeting too.
Morning, afternoon, evening, the main blocks. And to close the day?
Night. N-I-G-H-T. Night. Example, good night. Use often when saying goodbye at the end of the day or before someone goes to sleep. Marks the dark hours.
Okay, those make sense as a starting point. Broad parts of the day used in greetings, but then they get more specific, right? Yes, they move to more precise time markers, like today. T-O-D-A-Y, today.
Yeah.
Example, today is a good day. Refers to the current day. The present, very fundamental.
Today, and looking ahead.
Tomorrow. T-O-M-O-R-O-W. Tomorrow, example, tomorrow I go to school. Absolutely crucial for talking about the future, even the very near future, for plans.
Tomorrow. Okay, how about right now?
Now, N-O-W, now, example, let's learn now,
Yeah.
indicates immediacy, happening at this exact moment. Urgency,
Now, and the opposite of now in a way.
later. L-A-T-E-R, later. Example, see you later, refers to some unspecified time in the future. Could be soon, could be further away. Very common in goodbyes or making loose plans.
Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Then today, tomorrow, now, later. That's a really logical progression, isn't it? From the big chunks of the day to these specific points in time.
It is. It builds the concept step by step.
And using examples like good morning or see you later, these are phrases you can use immediately, right out of the box.
Exactly. Instant practical application. It makes the learning feel very relevant and immediately rewarding. You learn morning. You can now greet people in the morning. That's powerful for a beginner.
It really is. It gives you functional language straight away. So these words help us place actions and things in time, structure our day.
They are the framework, the timeline for everything else you learn.
Okay, now we've covered actions, objects, and time. But what about us, our internal world? The next step in Fluent Flow is really important for genuine communication. It's words for feelings, emotions, how we are inside.
Yes, this is a crucial dimension, moving beyond just describing the external world to expressing our internal state. What's really fascinating here is how just a few simple words for feelings can open up so much personal expression. Being able to say, I feel happy, or I feel sad, or I am hungry, allows for connection. for empathy, for clearly stating your needs. It makes communication much richer, much more human.
Absolutely. It moves beyond just facts into sharing experiences, essential for building relationships. So what are the core feeling words they introduce?
They start with two very basic universal emotions. First, happy. 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 Example, I feel happy.
A positive feeling everyone understands and desires.
Happy and the opposite.
Sad. 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 Example, I feel sad. The corresponding negative emotion. Equally important to be able to express.
Happy, sad, the core pair. What else? Very common feeling.
Tired. 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 Example, I feel tired. A physical state many people feel often after work or lack of sleep. Links back to sleep.
Tired. Very useful. How about a strong positive feeling?
Excited. 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 Example, I feel excited. Expresses enthusiasm, anticipation. For a party, a trip, good news.
Excited. Okay. And basic physical needs. We had eat and drink.
Right. So we need words for the feeling before you eat or drink. First, hungry. 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 Example, I am hungry. The feeling of needing food, a primary physical state.
Hungry. And the other one?
Thirsty. 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 Example, I am thirsty. The feeling of needing water or another drink, another core physical need.
Hungry, thirsty, makes sense. And then some more general states. Yes, two very general, very common words. Good. G-O-D.
Yeah.
Good. Example, I feel good. A general positive state, often used to answer, how are you?
Good. And the general negative.
Bad. B-A-D. Bad. Example, I feel bad. A general negative state, feeling unwell, unhappy, or just not good.
Happy, sad, tired, excited, hungry, thirsty, good, bad. A core set of feelings and states. And again, notice the sentence patterns. I feel or I am.
Yes. Consistent, simple structures. I feel happy. I feel tired. I am hungry. I am thirsty. This makes it very easy for learners to plug in the new feeling word and use it correctly right away. Minimum grammar fuss, maximum immediate communication.
It really builds confidence seeing you can express these important states so easily.
And Fluent Flow knows how important these are. After this section, they give direct advice. They say, repeat these words often. They are very useful.
So they're highlighting the frequency and the importance of practice.
Exactly. Repetition for memorization. But also acknowledging the sheer utility of these words in everyday conversation. You will use these words a lot. So practice them. Make them automatic.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, we've covered feelings. Now let's move from how we feel to something practical, something everyone connects with daily. Food.
Ah, yes, food. A universal topic. Food vocabulary is just incredibly useful. Think about it. Shopping, cooking, eating out, talking about meals, it comes up constantly. And this section ties back really nicely to the verbs eat and drink that we started with. It provides the specific what you eat and drink, creates a nice loop.
It does tie it together well. So what basic food words does the source include?
They start with a common fruit. Apple. A-P-P-L-E. Apple. Example, I eat an apple. Recognizable, healthy, common in many places.
Apple. Okay. A staple food.
Bread. B-R-E-A-D. Bread. Example, I like bread. A fundamental food item in countless cultures. Very high frequency word.
Bread. Another major staple globally.
Rice. R-I-C-E. Rice. Example, I eat rice.
Yeah.
Hugely important food source worldwide. Essential vocabulary for many learners.
Rice. Okay. Common types of meat or protein.
They include chicken. C-H-I-C-K-E-N. Chicken. Example, I love chicken. Very popular, widely available meat.
Chicken. And another healthy option.
Fish. F-I-S-H. Fish. Example, fish is healthy. Common protein, often seen as a healthy choice.
Fish. How about something often eaten for breakfast?
Egg. E-G-G.
Egg.
Example, I eat eggs for breakfast.
Okay.
Very common, especially for breakfast. Also used in cooking.
Egg. Okay. And beverages besides water.
Juice. J-U-I-C-E. Juice. Example,
Yeah.
Orange juice is good. Common drink type. Links back to the verb drink. Expands beverage vocabulary.
Juice. And the most essential drink of all.
Back to the fundamental. Water. W-A-T-E-R. Water. Example, I drink water. The most basic, most important beverage, included here for completeness in the food drink category.
Apple, bread, rice, chicken, fish, egg, juice, water. Again, a very practical, high-frequency list. These are foods many people encounter regularly.
Yes, the selection is smart. Common, easily recognizable items.
And the example sentences reinforce usage. I eat an apple. I like bread. I drink water. Simple, direct, useful patterns.
You can walk into a store or a restaurant and potentially use these words almost immediately. That immediate applicability is so motivating for learners. It shows the real-world value of what you're learning.
Absolutely. It connects learning directly to life. Okay, so we've gone through the The verbs, nouns, time words, feelings, food words, a core vocabulary set. Now, let's really focus on the how. The learning strategy itself, the Fluent Flow methodology, it's not just about the words, is it? It's about how you engage with them to make them stick.
Exactly. The methodology is just as important, if not more so, than the word list itself. And Fluent Flow is very explicit about their approach. It starts with those core instructions we keep mentioning. Listen to us. Repeat with us. Speak out loud. Let's learn together. This emphasizes active learning, multisensory learning. You hear it, you say it. You're not just passively receiving.
That active part seems crucial. And a key element of how they want you to listen and repeat is that focus on slow, clear pronunciation. You mentioned the original quote was in Portuguese, but it translates to slowly, clearly, and with pauses between words. Why is that specific instruction so beneficial?
Oh, it's incredibly beneficial for beginners. Think about listening to a new language spoken quickly. It just sounds like a blur of noise,
Yeah,
right?
it just washes over you.
Exactly. But when it's spoken slowly, clearly, with pauses, several things happen. First, you can actually hear the individual sounds within each word. This helps with pronunciation later, phonemic awareness. Second, you can more easily identify where one word ends and the next begins. Word boundaries become clearer. Third, the pauses give your brain time to process the information, to connect the sound to the meaning without feeling rushed or overloaded. They say it helps you understand every sound and word. It provides very clear, very digestible input.
It's like slowing down a video to see exactly how something works. You can analyze each part. So it helps listening comprehension and sets a good model for your own pronunciation.
Precisely. It models clarity. And this approach strongly relies on the power of repetition. They explicitly say, let's repeat a few words again. Say them with me, slowly. And they even do a final review, listing key words again. Eat, drink, go, come, read, write, table, chair, happy, sad, apple, bread, morning, night, today, now. This isn't accidental. Why is this repetition so fundamental?
Well, I guess practice makes perfect. But there's more to it.
There is. From a brain science perspective, repetition strengthens connections. Every time you hear a word, especially every time you say a word that's active recall, the neural pathway for that word gets a little stronger. It's like walking the same path in the grass over and over. Eventually it becomes a well-worn trail, easy to follow. Repetition moves vocabulary from your temporary short-term memory into your durable long-term memory. It makes the words become automatic, accessible without conscious effort. That's the goal for fluency.
So it's literally building the language pathways in your brain, making them stronger with each repetition. And they advise daily practice too. Practice every day. Listen, repeat, speak out loud.
Yes. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
Language learning isn't something you cram for. It's a gradual building process. Like building muscle, you need regular workouts. Daily, short practice sessions are often much more effective than one long session once a week. Keep those pathways active.
Listen, repeat, speak out loud every day. Simple but powerful advice. And there's one more element to their method that feels really important. The encouragement.
Ah, yes. The motivational support, it's woven right in. Phrases like, don't be afraid, you can do it.
Yeah.
And your English is getting better. And that lovely phrase, one word at a time.
Why is that kind of encouragement so critical, especially for beginners?
Because learning a language can be intimidating. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to worry about making mistakes, to think you're not making progress fast enough. This is sometimes called the affective filter. If you're anxious or lack confidence, it actually hinders your ability to learn, like a mental block. These encouraging words help lower that filter. They create a positive, supportive atmosphere. They reassure the learner that it's okay to be a beginner, that progress takes time, that making mistakes is normal, and most importantly, that they can succeed. That belief, that confidence, is absolutely essential for sticking with it. It keeps motivation high.
So the method isn't just cognitive about words and grammar, it's also emotional about building confidence and reducing fear.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach. It addresses the learner's practical need for vocabulary and structure, but also their psychological need for support and encouragement.
And this whole package, the careful word choice, the slow, clear pace, the repetition, the simple structures, the encouragement, it seems perfectly designed for someone starting out. It helps you learn quickly, but without feeling lost or stressed. It gives you those aha moments.
Yes, it's designed to provide early success and build momentum. Each small step feels manageable. Each new word learned and used feels like a victory. And you see your English getting better, truly, one word at a time.
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive. We've looked closely at Fluent Flow, episode 18, and seen how it tackles beginner English vocabulary. We covered the core words they chose, basic action verbs like eat, go, everyday nouns like table, phone, time words like morning, today, feelings like happy, tired, and food words like apple, water, a real foundation.
But more than just the list, we saw the method. Fluent Flow provides a practical, systematic way to learn. It's built on clarity, slow, clear speech. It's built on repetition, strengthening memory. And it's built on encouragement, building confidence. It's not just what to learn, but how to learn effectively and positively.
And looking at the bigger picture, this kind of methodical, supportive start provides such a solid base for anyone learning English. It proves that progress really does happen steadily, one word at a time, if you practice consistently. And as I say, you're not afraid to try, to speak out loud.
Absolutely. That combination of clear instruction, active practice, and positive reinforcement is a powerful recipe for success, especially in those crucial early stages.
So for you listening, here's something to think about. A final thought. Consider how these words we discussed, eat, go, table, chair, morning, happy, water, seem so simple, almost basic. But think about how often you use concepts like these every single day in your own language.
Now imagine building complex sentences, expressing nuanced ideas. Do you see how almost everything rests on this foundation? These simple words aren't just for beginners. They are the fundamental threads woven into the entire fabric of the English language. Every conversation, every text, every thought, it relies on these core building blocks. Pay attention today. Notice how often these words or the concepts they represent appear. You might be surprised. They are the essential core. Master them, and you've built the launch pad for everything else.
A great point to end on. These basic words are the true power tools. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep listening, keep practicing, keep speaking.
Yes, don't be afraid. You can do it. See you next time.